let's try and figure out who's going to win the Eastern Conference next year. And the bet to be made at price. So we've detailed that we think the East is going to be wide open. I don't even know if it's debatable that the East is going to be wide open. So here's where we're at. Cavs plus 260, Knicks plus 280, Magic plus 450. Remember, just traded for Desmond Bane. Boston at 6. We don't know if and when Tatum's going to be back next year. The Sixers at 12. Philly holds the 3rd overall pick in the NBA draft on Wednesday night in the first round. Indiana at 14 minus Tyrese Haliburton. I still can't believe that happened. Out for all of next year. The Pistons with Cade Cunningham at 18. Milwaukee and Giannis. I mean, I don't know how this one doesn't jump out. Even if they stink and Lillard tore his Achilles, they have maybe the best player, and they're at 28-1. So I have chosen to draw the line there. If there are teams like Matt Moore brought up, Toronto and Atlanta, we could talk about teams like that as well. Femi, give me how you're handicapping the Eastern Conference next year. Like what teams that stand out to you?
Yeah, I think on the Milwaukee point, too, like, there's no maybe. They do have the best player in the Eastern Conference. Like, it's Giannis. Like, he's the guy that's won multiple MVPs. He's that dude. And someone who's kind of been on his tier recently, a couple of years ago, you might say, won an MVP, cannot stay healthy, but the price just jumps out to me, and I cannot help but gravitate towards it. It's the Sixers at 12-1, man.
Oh,
boy.
Like,
this is one of those, this is the 10-team parlay. This is the roll the dice. You need everyone to stay healthy. You need to get to April and May. And if you get to April and May, I think you are cooking with gas in this Eastern Conference. But if Joel Embiid, who I realize who I'm talking about, it's Joel Embiid. The man is always shut down for knee issues like every single year. Like it always happens. But if he can get healthy and stay healthy for April or May, he's having his surgery. I think there's supposed to be a checkup in a few weeks here or whatever. They're going to give us some kind of an update, probably around Summer League time. But if he stays healthy, and Paul George can stay healthy. Maxey, I think that was a fluke injury. It was like his finger. Maxey will be healthy. I trust him. But Jared McCain, who was probably going to win Rookie of the Year this past season before he got hurt, he's now back in the fold. Quentin Grimes, who they had to bench because he was going to cost them a draft pick. Like this team, on paper, is incredibly talented. And they have a coach who's already won an NBA title. This is a wide open East. Embiid won the MVP 2 years ago. Like he's 31 years old. He's not 41. So if this team ever stayed healthy at 12-1, I think it's an opportunity to buy in on the Sixers, which, famous last words, they're never healthy, but maybe this is the year that they can catch lightning in a bottle.
I thought the same thing when I saw the price. Embiid, Paul George, McCain, maybe Edgecombe. When Embiid's at his best, he's one of the best players in the world. Like a coach that's won a title in Nick Nurse. There are pieces there, like reasons to be really optimistic. Just like you're betting on Embiid and like the bet can win and he can be healthy. It's not just that you need him healthy for enough games, like to get you like a decent seed or whatever. You need him healthy for an entire. There's no way.
For 2.5 months.
I guess there is a way.
For the playoff run, yeah.
I mean, the price is appealing, and I would never dissuade you from making. I can be wrong. I can't with them. The two teams that I would look at, would love your opinion on both of them. Because we can, a separate conversation would be like pick the winner of the East right now, like price not factored in.
I'm not taking the Sixers.
But if we're factoring in price, the Pistons have a lot of flexibility, and Cade is an absolute megastar. You know, like the Knicks went to the Eastern Conference Final. What was it? Game 5 when like Josh Hart absolutely like fouled at the end of the game and like they didn't call it and the Knicks escaped with victory. Game 4 in Detroit, right? Because Game 5 was at Madison Square Garden, correct? I mean that series was way closer than a lot of people thought it was going to be. I like this Pistons team a lot, and I like Cade a lot. I think his MVP price is a little interesting. Also, just can they win enough games? Detroit at 18. Milwaukee has the best player. Now we don't like the team around him. But if they have the best player at 28-1, that's got to be a little interesting, right? And I don't disagree with Matt on Atlanta because there are whispers, both in the betting community and elsewhere, that Atlanta could be gearing up to make some kind of like big move this offseason. I think Giannis is probably off the table at this point, right? If you're Milwaukee, like why would you trade him now, given how open the East is? I don't hate his thought on Atlanta. I don't know if I could get there on Atlanta, but I didn't hate his thought there. What do you think about Detroit? What do you think about Milwaukee at price?
Detroit, might be totally unfair, but I mean, JB Bickerstaff so far has just been not great in the playoffs. Like this past year against the Knicks, they were an underdog. Nobody expected them to win. I can't get the series out of my mind against them going 7 against that Orlando team that was a bunch of kids. Like his teams just don't look like they succeed in the postseason. And maybe that's a Cavs thing more than it was a JB Bickerstaff thing. But I just don't want to be buying it on Bickerstaff,
right?
even though I'm like. I mean, there's a little probably column A, column B, probably a mixture. I don't think it's all just one or the other. I guess that it's a mixture. But man, Cade, yes, you can get me on that. If they're going to make the move, okay. But, like, I don't know. Like, I'd have to have sources to project that. Like, I don't want to project that. I want to just look at the roster now and think, hey, like, this team is there. And that's why I like Philadelphia. Now, Milwaukee, like, I'd rather bet the Bucks than I would the Pistons, actually, which might sound crazy to people. Just because I know Giannis is there. Now, there's a chance they could trade him, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think we would have found that out by now. It seems like Giannis also wants to stay in Milwaukee, too. Like,
well,
but you're giving me
right?
a bigger price.
Why would you if you're them, right?
No, I mean, you wouldn't. Because, like, all it takes is another player to get injured, and all of a sudden, maybe you're there in the Eastern Conference Finals.
If they were in the West, I'd be like, yeah, trade him. You've got no chance. But think about what we're saying about the East. Like, the Cavs are the 100%. Favorite. They completely bowed out in the playoffs. The Knicks are the second choice. They don't have a coach. I mean, I'd hold on to Giannis if I were Milwaukee, and I didn't feel that way a month ago.
No, I thought he was gone. I thought it was, hey, you got to blow it up and let's see what happens. I was trying to trade him to the Knicks. Like, that's what I was trying to do a few weeks ago. I was like, let's get the New York Knicks to get Giannis. Yeah, I mean, shoot. I mean, if they traded for Giannis in this East, like, I'm putting the Knicks in the NBA Finals if they did that. But, yeah, I think I would rather bet Milwaukee just because I know I have Giannis, and in any given series, I have the best guy, and you just hope that maybe some of these surrounding pieces around him can kind of improve, or maybe they make some trades within the margins in the regular season. But, yeah, I'm more into Milwaukee than I am Detroit.
I do have my eye on Atlanta. I like that Matt brought them up. I wasn't going to. Jalen Johnson is a monster. Quinn Snyder's a proven awesome coach. You know, a lot of people dislike Trae Young. I like Trae Young, and I feel like they're going to swing some kind of move. Yeah, I think they're going to swing some kind of move here this offseason. I don't know what it is, but I think they're going to do something. And I did like Matt's thought on the Atlanta Hawks. Anything on the Cavs, Knicks, Magic, or Celtics, the 4 teams at the top of the board? We haven't discussed them.
Of those teams, I would much rather bet the Knicks than the other ones, and it's not even like close for me. Like Cavs,
really?
No, yeah, not even close. Like Cavs, I'm gonna have to pay favorite price for this team that can't get past the second round. No, I'm good. I'm not doing that. Celtics never. Pacers never. I don't even think we're gonna see Tatum. I know like there's probably some like, oh, like maybe he could come back and no. I don't think we're going to see him. Like, unless, like, maybe they're in the mix,
does?
But I'm not.
Let's have the
projecting.
conversation. Like, what if he does, though? Because we don't know that.
Well, okay, here's Jayson Tatum back from a major surgery on his Achilles, now having to play, like, playoff-style basketball after 15 games of the regular season. Like, no, I'm not going to want that. Like, that's way too much to ask. Like, he can try. Like he can, like nobody's going to stop him from going out there on the court if he's healthy. But I don't think you're going to see like peak level first team All NBA Jayson Tatum. It's going to be Jayson Tatum out there at like, I don't know, rusty 80%, trying to work his way back into like the most intense level of NBA basketball. I don't want to buy in on that. So yeah, it'd be the Knicks by far for me at plus 280. I'm not in love with the Brunson-Cat duo. I've been on the record saying that duo is never going to win a title. But if you made me choose amongst those teams, it's definitely the Knicks.
So you think the Knicks will win the East as of right now?
I think it's Orlando. If you just told me like who's going to win it, price out of the question.
So if you think if you think that, are you anticipating Paolo taking like an MVP style leap?
At least another like a third team All NBA to second team All NBA. That's what I'm anticipating from Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner making that All NBA leap. Yeah, but I think you can get it. Like we said it when they made the trade for Bane. Paulo played 45 games this year. Like if he and Franz Wagner play 70 plus games, like this is a 50-win team, and it's a team that's so good defensively that they're going to win a lot of games. Like that's what determines your ceiling in the regular season. And come postseason, now you have another scorer in Desmond Bane to help out. Yeah, I think Orlando, like odds notwithstanding, like Orlando, I think is a team that's going to win the East next.
I think Cleveland's the best team. Am I being a homer if I take the Knicks? No, right? Like they're basically they're like really close to being the favorite. We see who we get a coach
from a betting.
We
yeah. Are you gonna coach? Have you filed in for that interview, Jeff? There's Nick Costos, coach of the New York Knicks.
I'd coach the Knicks.
Yeah, I would coach them too.
I'd put my hat in the ring. Yeah, I'd put my hat in the ring. Absolutely.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm a coach of the team. All right.
I'm gonna say,
Hey, guys.
Jalen, pass the ball more often. I think I'd take the Knicks as of right now. Like, just to win the East, I'd take the Knicks. But if I had to bet a team, I think I'd bet the Pistons at price. I think Detroit would be where I'd want to go, assuming that they swing something this offseason because they have the ability to do that financially, and that Cade takes that leap. And how about this? Just as a separate, like, 1-for-1, who do you prefer, Cade Cunningham or Paolo Banchero?
Paulo for me, just because I think that like his size and what he's able to do as a distributor at his size is pretty special. But it's close though. Cade's big as hell too for a point guard.
I'd take Cade. I think it's a really interesting discussion. Although I do think, like Orlando, who's more likely to win more regular season games? Orlando. But this is a price conversation. It's Orlando plus 450 or Detroit at plus 1,800. Detroit would be where I would put my money right now. But if I had a water gun to my head, I'll take my Knicks and then to get slaughtered by whoever comes out of the West in the NBA Finals next year.